Marriage is a special team, a partnership designed by God. For this team to thrive, good communication is essential. It is like the lifeblood that keeps the relationship healthy and strong. A very large part of good communication is listening. This is not just about hearing the words your wife says, it means you are making a genuine effort to understand her thoughts, her feelings, and her heart. Your wife has a deep need to feel truly heard and understood by you, her husband. Sometimes husbands find it challenging to listen well. Life gets busy, and we can feel tired after a long day of work. Our minds might be on other things, like hobbies or problems we need to solve. Men often have a strong desire to fix things quickly when their wives share a problem. While well-intentioned, this can make our wives feel as if we are not truly listening to them or understanding their feelings. This can create a sense of distance in the marriage, which we must work to avoid. True, heartfelt listening is a powerful way to connect with your wife's inner world. When you listen attentively, you begin to learn what she is truly thinking and feeling. This practice builds a much stronger, more intimate connection between you. It clearly communicates to her that she is valued, that her perspectives are important, and that she matters deeply to you. This aligns with a core Christian principle: to value and honor others, especially our spouse whom God has given us in the sacred bond of marriage. Our ultimate goal as Christian husbands should be to become selfless listeners. This means we consciously choose to put our wife's need to be heard before our own desire to speak or fix. This kind of listening may not always come naturally to us. It requires deliberate effort, patience, and a willingness to learn. We also need to lean on God for His help and guidance in this area. Becoming a good listener is an ongoing journey, a skill that we can develop and improve over time, bringing immense blessings to our marriage. In a Christian marriage, listening is a very practical and powerful way to demonstrate love. It is a tangible action that reflects the sacrificial love of Jesus Christ. The Bible, in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25, gives husbands a clear instruction: "Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her." Part of loving your wife as Christ loved the church involves truly hearing her, valuing her words, and seeking to understand her heart. If you genuinely love your wife, you will make a consistent effort to be a good listener for her. When you truly listen to your wife, you are showing her profound respect. Your focused attention sends a clear and loving message: your thoughts and feelings are important to me. You matter. This act of listening validates her experiences and emotions, helping her to feel understood and cherished. It involves giving her your full, undivided attention, putting aside your own thoughts for a moment to enter her world. This kind of respect is fundamental to a healthy, God-honoring marriage relationship. There is a significant difference between active listening and simply being in the same room while sounds occur, which is passive hearing. Passive hearing means words might enter your ears, but your mind and heart are not engaged. Active listening, on the other hand, means you are fully present. You're engaged with what she is saying, making an effort to understand not just the words, but the emotions behind them. Your wife can almost always tell the difference between these two, and she knows when you are truly present with her. Selfless listening in marriage also beautifully mirrors the way God listens to us. Think about how we approach God in prayer. We pour out our hearts, our worries, our joys, and our deepest desires, trusting that He hears us. Our wives have a similar longing to be heard by us, their husbands. They want to share their hearts and know that we are listening with care and concern. When we listen selflessly, we not only bless our wives but also honor God within our marriage, strengthening our spiritual bond. One of the first and most practical steps to becoming a better listener is to eliminate distractions. When your wife wants to talk, especially about something important, make a conscious effort to create a quiet space for her. Turn off the television. Put your smartphone on silent and place it out of sight. Close your laptop or put down your book. This simple act of removing distractions speaks volumes. It non-verbally communicates to her that she is your priority at that moment, and you are ready to focus completely on her. Next, practice using active listening cues to show you are engaged. As she speaks, nod your head gently to show you are following along. Maintain comfortable and reassuring eye contact. You can use small verbal affirmations like, I see, or tell me more. Sometimes it is helpful to clarify what you are hearing by saying something like, so, what I hear you saying is you felt disappointed when... These small actions assure her that you are not just hearing but truly processing and trying to understand her perspective. A crucial aspect of good listening is to listen with the primary goal of understanding her feelings and perspective, not just to formulate your reply or to immediately solve the problem. Men often have a strong instinct to fix things, but many times, your wife may simply need a safe space to express herself and feel heard. She may not be looking for a solution, but for empathy and connection. Resist the urge to interrupt with advice or solutions unless she specifically asks for your help in that way. Finally, make it a habit to pray for patience and a loving, empathetic heart. Ask God to give you the grace to listen well, especially during times when you are tired, stressed, or when you may not initially agree with what she is saying. Remember the wisdom found in James chapter 1 verse 19. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Developing this skill takes consistent practice and a reliance on God's divine assistance to soften our hearts. The Bible provides timeless wisdom that directly applies to how we communicate in marriage. James chapter 1 verse 19 is a cornerstone verse for good listening. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. This means we should intentionally prioritize hearing what our wife has to say before we rush to express our own thoughts or opinions. Being slow to speak encourages us to think carefully before we respond, and being slow to anger helps us manage our emotions constructively, even during difficult conversations. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 13 offers another important insight. To answer before listening, that is folly and shame. This verse clearly warns against the foolishness of jumping to conclusions or offering advice before we have taken the time to fully understand the situation from our wife's point of view. Patient listening not only prevents misunderstandings and unnecessary conflict but also helps us gain true wisdom and insight into our wife's heart and the dynamics of our relationship. It helps build a foundation of careful consideration. We have the ultimate example of a perfect listener in Jesus Christ. Throughout his ministry, Jesus consistently took the time to listen to people's stories, their hurts, their hopes, and their needs. He listened with compassion and without judgment. He often asked thoughtful questions to help people open up and share what was truly on their hearts, as seen with the woman at the well. As Christian husbands, we can strive to emulate his example of patient, loving, and compassionate listening in our interactions with our wives. Embracing the role of a selfless listener brings abundant blessings to a marriage. When your wife feels consistently heard and understood, it builds a strong foundation of trust and security. It deepens the level of intimacy and connection you share. She will feel more loved, cherished, and validated, knowing that her thoughts and feelings matter to you. This, in turn, strengthens the overall marriage bond, making it more resilient and reflective of God's beautiful design for a loving, supportive partnership. Your marriage will flourish.